I've been using the Pixel 11, 11 Pro and Pro XL side by side, and the differences are bigger than you might think. I also found one major problem with the 11 and 11 Pro that almost nobody is talking about. The Pixel 11 and 11 Pro are on the more compact side. The Pixel 11 Pro XL is basically the same phone as the Pixel 11 Pro, but in a larger size. The Pixel 11 is the lightest phone. The Pixel 11 Pro is close, but the Pixel 11 Pro XL is noticeably heavier. All three phones have a triple camera setup, but the camera bumps on the Pixel 11 Pro and Pro XL are thicker than on the Pixel 11 because of the better camera hardware. All three of them support Pixel Snap, so you can attach MagSafe accessories without the need for a case. All three phones have IP68 water and dust resistance with aluminum frames. I personally prefer the Pixel Pro series as they look more premium, but you may prefer the colors of the Pixel 11. The display is one of the main differences between the three for a few reasons. For one, the Pixel 11 has larger bezels compared to the Pixel 11 Pro. Both Pro phones also have higher resolutions. Finally though, by default, the setting is on the lower resolution and you have to change that in the settings. Brightness-wise, in theory, the Pro phones are brighter, but under direct sunlight, you barely notice the difference. What you do notice are two things. For one, I found the colors to be more accurate on the displays of the Pro phones, and I found the panels to be slightly better. Second, and more importantly, the Pro phones have eye comfort, which raises the PWM to 480 Hz, while the base model is capped at 240 Hz. That's a very big issue and can cause eye strain. PWM is basically the rate at which a screen controls its brightness by turning the backlight or individual pixels on and off in rapid succession. In my opinion, people's health should not be for sale, and I'm disappointed that the Pixel 11 has such a low PWM that you only find on budget phones these days. The other important difference between them is the camera hardware. They both have a triple camera setup, with a wide ultrawide and a telephoto camera. The Pixel 11 Pro and Pro XL basically have the same camera setup, so I'll just compare the base model against the Pro model. For reference, this is Anna, the model for today's video. We'll start by testing the main lens. The Pixel 11 main lens is 24mm 48 megapixel, while the Pixel 11 Pro is 25mm 50 megapixel. That's why the Pixel 11 Pro seems a bit closer to the subject. Also, the Pro series has a larger main camera sensor. Therefore, you can see that the amount of background blur is stronger on the Pro. The other interesting thing I found is that the Pro model has warmer and more vivid colors. Maybe this photo shows what I mean. I find the Pixel 11 Pro picture has better dynamic range and color representation. The difference is not as big in many pictures, but it is still noticeable. In daylight, for my skin tone too, I slightly lean towards preferring the Pro over the 11, but most people won't tell the difference unless they are shown side by side. I also felt that the Pixel 11 sometimes applies more sharpening, which is a typical thing phones with smaller camera sensors do to compensate for the lack of optical quality. Generally, the Pixel 11 Pro pictures look a bit more professional, both color science-wise and because of the stronger bokeh. Of course, you can use portrait mode to apply the same bokeh on both phones, as I did here. For indoor shots too, the better hardware on the Pro can capture a better photo. Especially at night, you can notice the quality drop on the Pixel 11 compared to the Pixel 11 Pro, but they are both still rather close. Moving to telephoto, they both have a 5x telephoto camera, but the Pixel 11 Pro has an exceptionally larger sensor. That once again means you get better optical quality on the Pro, stronger bokeh, and generally better pictures. But I wouldn't necessarily recommend spending the extra money on the Pro, especially in daylight, the photos can be close. And if we switch to portrait mode, you can get similar background blur on both phones. The main difference is in low light situations at night, where the smallest sensor on the Pixel 11 means you get less light on it and the quality will suffer. Moving to the ultra-wide camera, the Pixel 11 Pro also has a better ultra-wide camera with a larger sensor and more megapixels. Looking at this picture here, you can see the Pro has a sharper picture, but again, they are very close. The difference is more visible in low lights, like this one, but again, I wouldn't necessarily buy the more expensive phone. If you are into selfies, the Pixel 11 Pro is a clear winner. It not only has 4 times more megapixels, but also a better sensor and a larger field of view, which is always important for group pictures. For video with the main camera, the difference is smaller than with the pictures, and I do find both of them doing a great job. For telephoto video, the Pixel 11 Pro, not surprisingly, does a better job. Also, the Pixel 11 Pro has the video boost feature, which brings the video to an even higher level by improving it on Google's servers using AI. At night, not surprisingly, the bigger sensors on the Pixel 11 Pro capture a better video of Anna. I'm repeating myself, but the difference is not as big as you might think. Fortunately, the new features like Magic Capture are available on both the Pixel Base and Pro series. You can basically take a video in this mode and the phone automatically picks the top moments and creates high quality photos. Other Android 17 features are supported on both phones. For example, now you can turn on the live caption option and see captions for any video you are playing and of course translate them into your own language. I'm actually curious what language you speak, maybe write down in the comments. The only thing I can think of missing on the Pixel 11 is the HiLight, and that's the light that turns on when you have your phone face down and you talk to Gemini. The 3 phones have very similar battery capacities, close to 5000 mAh. In theory, they should give you similar battery life too, since the chipset is the same. They're all sporting the Tensor G6, which in my Geekbench test got a score of 2200 to 2300 for single core and 6800 to 7100 for multi-core. The graphic unit of the Tensor is particularly weak. For example, in Wildlife Extreme, it gets an average frame rate of 20 frames per second, while other flagship phones get 30 or above. Heating-wise, the cooling for Pixel 11 Pro and 11 Pro XL seems better. In this wildlife test, the Pixel 11 temperature rose by 4 degrees, while the Pixel 11 Pro rose by 2, and the Pixel 11 Pro XL by only 1 degree Celsius. And I did tell you there is in fact a big issue I found with the Pixel 11 series, and that's the Wi-Fi connection. It sometimes does disconnect and refuse to find Wi-Fi. My guess is it is a software issue because it does turn back on when I reset the phone, but it is annoying nevertheless. At the end of the day, to me personally, upgrading to the Pixel 11 Pro over the Pixel 11 makes sense. You get 2 meaningful upgrades, a better display panel, and all the cameras are also superior to the ones on the Pixel 11. If you want to see a more in-depth comparison of the Pixel 11 Pro versus the iPhone 17 Pro, including battery life, you can watch this video next. Thanks for tuning into Techmo, and I will see you in the next one.